Good evening. You're watching News This Hour with me, Avni Raja. Let's take a look at the top headlines. Hindi signage is taken off from the Bengaluru metro after intense protests by pro-Kannada groups against the use of Hindi language in metro stations. From October 1st, Aadhaar will become mandatory for issuing death certificates. This has been done to prevent identity theft. They chop off the victim's hair but leave without taking anything. Mystery barber on the prowl in Haryana and Delhi. Police on the lookout for phantom barbers. 26-year-old dietitian Varnita Garg battles for her life after being mowed down by two SUVs in the Saket area of South Delhi. Police arrest a 40-year-old woman who was allegedly driving one of the cars. A major rap on the knuckles of the Mumbai Civic body. Bombay High Court judge slams the BMC for the killer potholes. Says she will personally note the number of potholes on her travel route every day. The metro officials in Bengaluru have given in to the public and have started removing the Hindi signages from the metro stations. This after the intense protests by the pro-Kannada groups against the use of Hindi language in metro stations.
The BMRCL, the Bengaluru Metro, finally have succumbed to the pressure of Karnataka-led Congress government, including some of the activists of Karnataka Rakshana Vedike. I'm right now standing here at the KR Market metro station. In fact, if you can see, this particular metro station does not have the signboard. Earlier, they did have a signboard which had a mention of, in fact, they had followed 3-language policy, Hindi, English and Kannada. But after protests erupted, after Karnataka Rakshana Vedike activist stage protest, also they went all out on Twitter campaign saying that they did not want Hindi to be imposed here in Karnataka. In fact, it looks like the Kannada Development Authority chairman issued a notice to BMRCL where they have finally succumbed to the pressure of the government, where they are forced to remove these signboards. At this point in time, we understand that the name boards have been removed at 4 different metro stations, that is Chikpet, KR Market, Vijayanagar. Also, we understand at this point in time that what we understand is that they have almost stopped the safety announcements. This is after the Kannada Development Authority Chairman Siddaramaiah had issued an ultimatum to BMRCL that failing which they will go, that is the Karnataka Rakshana Vedike activists will stage a large-scale protest asking that going forward they will be defacing all the signboards here across the station, across the city, because of which now succumbing to the pressure. Now the latest move what we see is that where metro officials have removed all the signboards. But what we know at this point in time is that despite the signboards which had all the 3 languages, what we do know at this point in time is that the metro boards have been removed. But in future, will they be following only 1-language policy, that is only Kannada, or will they be 2-language policy is what remains to be seen. In Bengaluru, Shrija for Mirror Now.
And the plot thickens in Mumbai housing scam. Maharashtra Housing Minister and BJP leader Prakash Mehta continues to be under the scanner for cutting a sweetheart deal with a private Mumbai builder. Opposition alleges the scam runs well above 600 crore rupees. The BJP mantri is accused of expanding the scope of a project by converting it into a larger slum redevelopment scheme. The change would allegedly have given the developer windfall gains. The housing minister, meanwhile, claims the opposition is framing him. Mehta has said he will step down if Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis asks him to.
एक बार माननीय मुख्यमंत्री ने सभागृह में और परिषद में इस विषय के बारे में स्पष्ट इस प्रकार की इंक्वायरी होगी, इंक्वायरी में अगर लगा तो माननीय मुख्यमंत्री सक्षम है क्या निर्णय करना, लेकिन इनके आरोपों में कोई तथ्य नहीं है, इसलिए जो भी इंक्वायरी होगी उसके हम सामने जाने के लिए तैयार है। और ऐसा मैंने सभागृह में कहा है, मैंने मांगी थी इंक्वायरी, मैंने खुद कहा कि आप इसी विषय को जांच करने के लिए इंक्वायरी बिठाओ। अब वो बिठाएंगे और उसकी जानकारी निकलेगी।
Mirror Now's Disha Shah also visited the transit camp under contention in Mumbai's Ghatkopar area. Listen in to the residents caught in the crossfire.
Certainly, I'm standing here in the same transit camp, the plot in Pantnagar in Ghatkopar, Mumbai, where the housing minister Prakash Mehta has been accused of reallocating this same plot to a same developer. In fact, here what we understand is that the minister had planned to convert a transit camp redevelopment project, which was cancelled in 2012 by the previous government, into a larger slum rehabilitation project by clubbing these adjoining 6 slum pockets to the selected developer. And here, of course, if I can ask my camera person to zoom in, this is the board here of this particular project, and the project developer's name is indeed Dharmesh Jain of Nirmal Property and Holding Company. So this, along with Prakash Mehta, Dharmesh Jain from Nirmal Lifestyle, he is the one who plans to build this, convert this transit camp, which is under the Mahada plot, into a slum rehabilitation project, which comes under SRA scheme, which is totally illegal. And with this, of course, with this, the developer Dharmesh Jain could have benefited more than 500 crore rupees. This is what the opposition leaders in the assembly and even the former chief minister Prithviraj Chauhan had claimed in the assembly. So now, after all of this, what we also learn is that this year again this issue was raised, and Mehta sanctioned the proposal without CM's notice, and now this proposal is on stay, is what we understand. An inquiry against Prakash Mehta on this whole transit camp scam is on. This is Disha Shah for Mirror Now.
धर्मेश जैन जो बिल्डर है वो बैंक करप्टेड बिल्डर है। मुंबई में उसका एक भी प्रोजेक्ट चालू नहीं है। ये लोग हमारे पास से पेपर ले रहे, हम लोग को फंसा रहे, सब पे पेपर पे साइन ले रहे। कल हम लोग को इधर से खाली करेंगे, कौन बिल्डिंग में घर देगा?
1999 से लेके 2006 तक उसने इधर कुछ काम नहीं किया, तो म्हाड़ा ने उसका कैंसलेशन कर दिया। कैंसलेशन करने के बाद उसको वापस अपॉइंट किया गया 2017 में। तो ये बिल्डर जो है वो पूरा करप्ट है, ब्लैक लिस्ट में उसका नाम है, उसके पास पैसा नहीं है। तो ये बिल्डर को लाके क्या सिद्ध करना चाहते हैं? क्यों हम मुंबई से आए, एसआरएम में तो हम झोपड़पट्टी में नहीं रहते। हमारा मुंबई का बिल्डिंग तोड़ा हुआ, इधर हमको रूम दिया है, तो एसआरएम में जाने का वैल्यू ही किधर है हमारा?
अभी 45 साल यहाँ पे हो गया, अभी तक कुछ भी नहीं हुआ है। कुछ भी नहीं हुआ है। हम इतना ही चाहते हैं कि हम लोग को म्हाड़ा ने बना के देना चाहिए पूरा।
जहाँ यह टेंटिस कैम्प का जगह खाली है, वहाँ जगह खाली करने के बाद वहाँ बिल्डिंग बांध दीजिए। बाद में टेंटिस कैम्प वहाँ शिफ्ट करके तुम लोग टेंटिस कैम्प के रूम खाली कीजिए। पैसा वो हम लोग खाली, हम लोग को किसके ऊपर विश्वास नहीं है अभी तक।
Not only the transit camp area has been clubbed with the non-slum areas and the slum areas like the Rajeshwar, Maleshwar, Saidam area, which are basically the slum area, but as per the development plan, they are reserved for the recreational ground, and that's why they can't be developed. So the government wanted to develop this recreational ground under upon which the slums are situated by amalgamating it with the transit camp, which is illegal as per the law. Yes, it's a huge scam, and the housing department has no power, as well as the housing minister has no power to issue such type of GR specifically for one small area, because housing department always act for the whole Maharashtra, and the GR has been passed only for a specific area named as Naidu Colony.
Opposition has stalled the parliament for 3 days, asking the housing minister's resignation. So some more reactions coming your way.
That is precisely why we want an inquiry by the retired judge of the High Court. We will not accept any ordinary administrative inquiry at all. And we want both Mr. Prakash Mehta and Mr. Mopalwar to be removed from their current assignments. Not only the audio tape, the information which has come out today says that Prime Minister's office has written to Chief Minister to inquire into the corruption charges against Mr. Mopalwar in December 2016. What has the government done for the last 8 months? Why this officer is continuing to hold a very prestigious, important job of being the chief of the Maharashtra State Road Development Corporation?
I think road should be done independently. It should not be done either by anybody from Maharashtra or any of the agencies, I think nothing less than a judicial probe should take place. Because we've seen the way CBI, IB, income tax and all have been compromised by this government. So actually there is no trust left in that. A judicial probe should be ordered, and only that we can probably be able to get some results out of it. It's good that they've immediately ordered to probe, but this also shows that we don't know what else is happening in the Maharashtra government. I mean, if this obviously must have been a chance recording or somebody who just recorded it, and if a minister can openly talk like this to a senior IAS officer, that itself is something that's shocking. What else is really happening in that government? So I think this is perhaps a tip of the iceberg to what's happening in Maharashtra.
Radhesham Mopalwar is an IAS officer of Maharashtra cadre. He has been given an important assignment of MSRTC, where he has to execute the highway which is being made from Mumbai to Nagpur, which is more than 40,000 crores. And if this officer's integrity has come under cloud, why is the Chief Minister not suspending him? Why has the Chief Minister not ordered an FIR when his footage, which is on the social media, where he is talking to a person saying that you give 1 crore which he has to give to the Mantralaya so that FSI can be granted in a plot in Borivali. It is a clear-cut case of corruption. By trying to protect him, has just come out with a simple inquiry, and we all know what is the end of such inquiry. These inquiries are only instituted so that the media furore and public outcry may die down.
All right, now the government has made the Aadhaar number mandatory for the registration of death from October 1st of this year. And this to prevent identity fraud. The Office of the Registrar General said that the use of Aadhaar will remove the need for producing multiple documents to prove the identity of the deceased person. For more on this, I'm joined by Meenakshi on the phone line. Meenakshi, this new has come in now. The government has made it mandatory for Aadhaar for the registration of death as well now.
Well, that is right. This is a bold, perhaps another ambitious initiative by the government, where it continues with its Aadhaar juggernaut. And like you rightly pointed out, this time around, again arguing or presenting the side that it is perhaps a necessary step, given the fact that it will mitigate the need for presenting multiple documents. And this particular move of linking Aadhaar for the registration of death will also be a move to perhaps establish the identity of the person in all correctness. That is the argument of the government. But clearly, there will be issues going forward, because Mirror Now viewers will recall there is a larger argument surrounding the veracity of Aadhaar, which is currently sub judice in the Supreme Court of India. Of course, the 9-judge bench is going to introspect only on the aspect of privacy, whether privacy is a full-blown fundamental right or not. That is a judgment which will be pronounced by the Supreme Court 9-judge Constitution bench. But that is a judgment which will go ahead and have an impact or a bearing on the Aadhaar challenge, which will be again eventually considered by the Supreme Court in the foreseeable future. But be that as it may, since there is no bar or stay on the uses of Aadhaar, except for it being criticized before the Supreme Court as to how Aadhaar has been made by the government a fulcrum of everyday life, and that is something which is hotly contested on several grounds. But we have seen the government's position. Even today, Ravi Shankar Prasad was making a statement about how this government believes that there is a greater need for having data protection in India. Data is something which the government believes is very sacred. But at the same time, the government continues with its particular move of linking Aadhaar with not just social welfare schemes, as was argued in the Supreme Court by the Attorney General, but also a host of other things like this new initiative, where the government is arguing that this is a step which will perhaps mitigate the need for multiple documents and be a definite step in establishing the correctness of a person's identity, and therefore it feels it is essential for linking Aadhaar for registration of death purposes.
All right, Meenakshi, thanks so much for getting us all those details. So, of course, we're still awaiting what the Supreme Court has to say as far as whether the right to privacy is fundamental or not. All right, let's now take a look at what else is making news across the nation. A building in Shimla collapsed, killing 2 and injured 6. The building houses the HP Road Transport Corporation's office. Rescue operations are underway. Former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram's son, Karti Chidambaram, has moved the Madras High Court. This after the ED and the CBI filed a lookout notice against him for not appearing at the hearing of the IMX case. Karti has neither accepted nor declined the issue. Bollywood star Salman Khan appeared before the Jodhpur court in connection with the Illegal Arms Act case. The actor signed a 20,000 rupee bail bond. A 55-year-old rail guard died after he got stuck in the middle of a wheel set after it was loaded on a wagon. The engine started and jolted the wagon. He succumbed to his injuries later in the hospital. AIADMK's jailed Secretary General Shashikala's nephew is likely to address the media and reveal his decision on the pending merger between EPS and OPS factions. The party fell apart after the demise of former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha. One Hizbul Mujahideen was gunned down and 2 escaped after an overnight encounter in Anantnag. Security forces also recovered an SLR camera, 40 rounds of ammunition as well as 1 hand grenade. India paid its last respects to martyr Major Kamlesh Pandey in his hometown Bareilly in Uttar Pradesh. Major Pandey was one among the 3 army personnel who was martyred in the line of duty in an encounter in Shopian on Thursday. In Bathinda, truck unions are protesting against the Punjab government's decision to disband all truck unions in the state. Trucks set on fire in protest. Actor and TDP MLA N. Nandamuri Balakrishna, known for his tantrums, is in the news now for slapping a member of his film crew and then asking him to tie his shoelaces. In fact, this is not the first time the actor has done something like this. Balakrishna has earlier slapped people on the sets of his films, scolded fans and even made lewd comments at heroines in public gatherings. 2 leopard cubs were killed by stray dogs in Kaila Devi Wildlife Sanctuary, Rajasthan. The sanctuary is part of the critical tiger habitat area of Ranthambore National Park. Stray dog menace is growing in and around the sanctuary. In Punjab, school students celebrate the festival of Raksha Bandhan. Girl students tie rakhis on the wrists of jawans at Wagah border. Thousands have been impacted by the floods in Rajasthan since July 22nd. Nearly 70 people have lost their lives. Districts including Pali, Sirohi, Jalore, Jaisalmer and Bamar have been impacted the most. Floodwater levels in remote villages of Jalore and Pali has been hovering around 5 to 8 feet for the past 4 days, making the rescue operations difficult. The Indian Army has rescued around 900 people from different parts of Rajasthan. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi has reached flood-hit Rajasthan to take stock of the situation.
हालात काफ़ी ख़राब हैं। जैसे मैंने कहा, असम में, गुजरात में, राजस्थान में बाढ़ आई है, काफ़ी लोगों का नुकसान हुआ है। तो कांग्रेस पार्टी लगी हुई है, जितनी मदद हम कर सकते हैं हम कर रहे हैं। थोड़ी सी कमी की सरकार की तो है। जहाँ भी हम जा रहे हैं हम पूछ रहे हैं कि कॉम्पनसेशन आया है, मदद की है, पानी हटाने का काम शुरू हुआ है, तो लोग कह रहे हैं कि नहीं हुआ है।
Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi today visited flood-affected villages in Bardmer and Jalore district of Rajasthan. Despite all these VIP visits, the situation on ground remains grim. And what people affected by the flood is looking at is a Gujarat-like package from Modi government so that a fillip can be given to relief and reconstruction works. With cameraman Dinesh, Arvind Singh for Mirror Now from Jaipur.
An invisible person with a fetish for chopping off women's hair has caused ripples of panic across states in North India. In a series of bizarre incidents coming in from Gurugram, women claim that a phantom barber has been cutting off their braids. All the women who have lost their manes claim they fell unconscious but woke up with a headache. However, nothing was stolen from the house. The police has registered a case against these phantom barbers, but the incident has already given rise to superstitious rumour-mongering.
A silent fear lurks in the northern states of India. Mistrust and suspicion at every glance. The anger is palpable. and the helplessness is unanimous. A hair-raising tale of horror that has impacted people across 5 states in India. Who is this invisible perpetrator who has a problem with hair? Is it just a rumor, or is there some truth to these tales? It started in Rajasthan, a series of incidents where women reportedly lost their braids while they were asleep, chopped off by an invisible person. And there are many who believe this is beyond the realm of any earthly body.
मैं जी सो रहा था, मेरे को पता ही नहीं चला, मेरे खुजली होने लगी शरीर में, तो मैं खुजला रहा था, मेरे हाथ में चोटी आ गई और मैं जब उठा तो मेरे अंधेरा छाप आ गया और कुछ नहीं दिखाई पड़ा मेरे.
There are also some who believe this is the handiwork of a gang, not a single person.
बैड टाइप्स के जो एक बैड एलिमेंट्स टाइप होते हैं जिनको कोई किस प्रकार का एक डर का भय पैदा करना जनता में, वो इस प्रकार के आदमी इस प्रकार की हरकतें कर रहे हैं और हमें उम्मीद है कि जल्दी से जल्दी हम उनको पकड़कर इस ये जो मिस्टीरियस सिचुएशन क्रिएट हो रही है उससे हम जल्दी से जल्दी इसको बूस्ट आउट करें.
A few kilometers away from the national capital, Faridabad and Gurugram are also in the grip of fear. The invisible barber has struck in Mewat, Palwal and Gurugram.
At least 5 to 6 cases of mysteriously chopping of the braids have come to light in old Gurgaon area. In fact, the victim that we also spoke to have also alleged that her braids were allegedly chopped off and she felt some kind of a headache and irritation in the head is when she realized that her braids have been chopped off. Now, she has also informed the police and they are looking into this matter. But similar such cases have also been reported in Haryana's Rewari, Mahendragarh and Mewat area, and also some incidents have also been reported from Delhi's Chhavla area. Now, in the light of these recent incidents, the police are investigating this matter and they have also formed small teams to look at all these incidents. They have formed teams to even patrol at night to see any kind of suspicious activity. But so far, they have not been able to find any conclusive reports in this case.
But several questions still remain unanswered. Are these just rumors or are these facts? Why is this perpetrator only targeting women from villages? Why have no incidents been reported from cities? Is this the work of a gang? Questions that the police is grappling with. But in the meantime, the invisible scissor hand has a free run. Mirror Now report.
Now, days after a 26-year-old dietitian was allegedly hit by 2 cars in the Saket area of Delhi, a 40-year-old woman who was allegedly driving one of the SUVs has been arrested. Dietitian Varnita Garg is currently on ventilator support and her condition remains extremely critical. She was hit by an XUV while crossing the road and was flung into the air. She was then mowed down by a Scorpio. Both vehicles sped away after the accident. The police is examining the CCTV footage to identify the second driver.
Right at this intersection of Metro Enclave, Varnita was hit by 2 speeding cars. First hit her, second one ran over her body. Her lower part of the body is critically injured and she is admitted at AIIMS Trauma Center. The incident has happened right in front of the police picket, but instead of which Delhi police has not been able to crack the case. There are many CCTV cameras installed on this particular stretch of Saket, but Delhi police hand is still empty, although the victim is still battling for her life at the hospital.
मैडम निकल रही थी, गाड़ियाँ इतनी स्पीड से आ रही थी, 7:30 का लमसम टाइम था, तो एक गाड़ी ने पहले टक्कर मारी है जिस XUV थी, उसके जस्ट पीछे एक स्कॉर्पियो आ रही थी, उसने भी मैडम के ऊपर से चढ़ा दी.
The information that Varnita Garg is a dietitian who is working with us since last 1.5 years, and on the Monday morning, that is 31st of July, she was coming for duty at 7:30 a.m. crossing this Press Enclave Road, T junction, and while she was crossing, she was hurt by a speedy vehicle, and this speeding vehicle hit so badly that she fell immediately on the road. And it is not the end here. After that, another speeding vehicle came and it trounced the girl who was already hit by the earlier vehicle. She was unconscious. She was badly bleeding. She was having a flap removed of the skin on the left side of forehead, trying to catch with each other. And so they were at such a high speed that she was hit by first vehicle and then overrun by the second vehicle.
Here's a look at what's happening globally. Tight security has been arranged for the annual Gay Pride Parade in Jerusalem. The Israel police detained 12 people, including one in possession of a knife, on suspicion that they would disrupt the parade.
Feels amazing. Jerusalem is the holy city, and love is love, even in the holy city.
Tons of ivory was crushed in New York's Central Park to demonstrate the state's commitment to smashing illegal ivory trade and elephant slaughter. Trinkets, statues and jewelry crafted from the tusks of at least 100 slaughtered elephants were fed into a rock crusher.
Thank you so much for protecting the elephants from extinction, and slaughter is something that I feel we have an important role to play in New York, because unfortunately we've been part of the problem. We've been a market, and that has to stop, and our work is designed to make it stop.
The end result will be not a good result if it continues at the rate of knots that it's going, and there won't be any elephants within really a comparatively short amount of time in Africa.
The Senate Foreign Relations Committee has approved legislation that suspends U.S. financial assistance to the Palestinian Authority until it stops rewarding Palestinians who kill Americans and Israeli citizens.
He was praised as a heroic martyr. He was given the status, the pride of all the young Palestinians, and others were urged to follow in his footsteps. This is the man who just killed Taylor Force.
Commit a very egregious terrorist act. You murder an Israeli or someone else, and you get a 30-year sentence. You get $3,500 a month.
The U.S. government has announced initiatives to make it easier for war veterans to get medical care and is also promoting new ways to use technology.
Today is a big deal for veterans. It's really going to expand access for veterans in a way we haven't done before. And as you may know, VA already has the largest telehealth program in the country. Last year, we had 700,000 veterans who got telehealth services through the VA.
That's a wrap on this bulletin. Stay tuned to Mirror Now for more news and updates.